Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful story about how to quiet a restless mind. And the secret isn't about looking outside for answers, but turning your focus inward.
Okay, so let's just dive right in with a question for you. Have you ever felt like your thoughts are just a swirling storm? You know, this constant rush of memories, worries, and what-ifs that just leaves you feeling unsettled and totally drained?
What we're going to explore that exact feeling through the story of a young guy named Marco. He was only 24, but his mind, it was in a state of constant chaos.
His mind was basically trapped between two places. On one side, he was always stuck in the past, replaying things over and over, which just brought up a ton of sadness and regret. And on the other side, he was completely consumed by anxiety and fear about what might happen in the future. He was living everywhere except for right here, right now.
And this had a real tangible cost. This mental storm meant he could never, ever feel calm. He couldn't sleep right, and the story even says he'd forgotten how to smile. It was basically running his entire life.
So, feeling pretty desperate, Marco hears about this wise old man. He was a former psychologist who'd retired to a quiet village way up in the hills, and he had this reputation for helping people find peace. So Marco decides, I've got to go find this guy. The journey was, long and tough, but he finally makes it to the village. And there he is, the old man, just sitting peacefully on his porch. Marco goes up to him, explains his whole situation, and basically begs for help to quiet his mind. But here's where it gets interesting. The wise man doesn't give him some big lecture or some deep philosophical advice. Instead, he just gives him a very simple but also a very, very specific task. He takes a glass, fills it with water right up to the very, very top, to the absolute brim, and hands it to Marco with this one critical rule. It was so full that even the slightest little shake would make it spill. So, Marco takes on the challenge. And as he starts walking, the road is just total chaos. You've got people running around, shopkeepers yelling, dogs barking everywhere. But Marco, he tunes all of it out. His entire world just shrinks down to that glass of water, and he puts every ounce of his attention on not spilling a single drop. And he does it. He walks all the way there and back, and when he returns to the wise man, he's so proud and relieved. He hadn't spilt a single drop. The task was a complete success. But see, the test wasn't really about the water. It's the wise man's reaction that really unlocks the whole secret here. The wise man doesn't congratulate him. Nope. Instead, he just starts asking these simple questions about the journey. He asks about the kids he must have passed, the dogs barking, all the sounds of the village. And Marco is just stunned. He thinks for a second and says, "No, I didn't notice any of that." He'd been so completely locked in on his task, so focused on that glass, that all the chaos of the world around him just disappeared.
And that is the whole lesson. What Marco experienced, well, today we might call it a flow state or being in the zone. When your mind is that fully engaged in the present moment, there is literally no room left for the past's regrets or the future's anxieties. The storm in his mind just went silent.
The wise man then explains it to him. That peace Marco was so desperately searching for, it wasn't in some faraway village or in the advice of some other person. It wasn't some external thing he had to go out and find. And this is the crucial part. This state of calm isn't something you have to acquire. It's something you simply access. It's already in there, inside all of us, just waiting for us to bring our full attention to the here and now. And right then, the light bulb just goes off for Marco. He finally gets it. The key to calming the storm wasn't about fighting his thoughts. It was about shifting his focus so completely onto the present that the thoughts just had no space left to exist. Now, this whole story isn't just a nice little tale. It's basically a practical guide for every single one of us. So, the question is, how do we apply it? That glass of water is such a powerful metaphor, right? It just represents any single point of focus that can anchor you firmly in the present moment. So, your glass of water, it doesn't have to be a literal glass. It can be something really simple. It could be the physical sensation of your breath, just feeling it move in and out. It could be really listening to the sounds around you right now. It could even be pouring all of your attention into a simple task, like washing the dishes, or just feeling your feet on the ground. So here's the takeaway. The tool you need to quiet the storm in your mind isn't something you have to go looking for. You've already got it. It's your ability to focus your attention. So the only question left is, what are you going to choose as your glass of water? Where are you going to place your focus today?